I just got back from an undisclosed city in East Africa where Christians from several countries gathered for a 3-day conference on Islam and Christianity. I haven't had much sleep because of the time zone shift, so I'm going to keep this short and go to bed. When I went to Africa to speak last week, I thought the conference was going to be a bunch of presentations like conferences in America or Europe. But things are a little different when Christians from Sudan and Ethiopia and Uganda and Somalia get together. In between our presentations on the Quran and jihad and other topics, we heard stories from people who didn't learn about Islam from books. They learned about Islam by living in areas dominated by followers of Muhammad. And I don't mean the sort of followers of Muhammad we're familiar with in the West. I heard story after story about kidnappings and rapes and murders, children abducted in order to compel their parents to convert, missionaries being tortured and killed while police looked the other way. One man was butchered and his wife was forced to drink his blood. Now, I'm from the United States, where we can say whatever we want and where we're free to expose injustice and oppression. So after I would hear one of these horror stories, I would tell the speaker that I'd like to record him and put his story on YouTube. And I got the same response every time. What do you mean you want to put my story on the internet? If anyone finds out I've said anything, my family becomes a target. My friends become targets. Any Christian in my area becomes a target. So for the Christians living in Muslim-controlled areas, no matter how many of your children and friends are kidnapped, no matter how many women are raped, no matter how many of your Christian brothers and sisters are killed, you have no choice but to keep your mouth shut. But I'm home now, where I can talk about Islam all day long. I've been criticizing the Quran and Muhammad and Sharia for years, mostly because I'm horrified at what I find when I read the Muslim sources. But now I realize that I'm not just speaking to share my views with the world. I'm speaking on behalf of people whose basic human right to speak in their own defense has been stolen from them. Many governments are trying to stop jihadists, but jihad is just the fruit. You can cut an apple from an apple tree. More apples are going to grow. If you want to stop jihad, you have to go to the root, and the root is Muhammad. So let me say to all my Muslim friends out there, I'm going to sleep now, but when I wake up, I'm coming after your prophet. And I'm going to keep coming after your prophet until there's nothing left of him or there's nothing left of me. And I don't say this because I hate you. I believe that Muslims are victims of Muhammad's teachings, just as many non-Muslims are victims of Muhammad's teachings. So one of the most loving things I can do for you and for the rest of the world is to tell the truth about your prophet. And there's a lot to tell. Stay tuned.